Hello, this is the weekly training video looking at last week, which is week 3 of GHSA football season. We're going to start off again with more blindside blocks. We're going to, until we stop missing them or players and coaches kind of get the hang of what we're trying to do here, we're going to continue to have issues with blindside blocks. And it looks like players, I'm seeing more open hands, more hands out. So it's being taught by the coaches, I think. But at the end of the day, football instincts kick in, and these players, they're just until we can work some of that out, we're probably going to keep seeing these blindside blocks. So let's look at a couple. I think we have about 5 or 6 to look at. Watch this right here. A lot of times on scrimmage plays, these blindside blocks are going to happen when there's a reverse of field. So watch number 76 right here. And then we got another one we call right here. So let's look at each one of these. I think this one is a definite that we get. You see the focus of the defender. He's on the ball carrier. Number 76 can come. A good forcible hit. Defender does not see it coming. Not even in the last second. He's going to lay his shoulder in. It's a good forcible hit. We picked that one up. This one here, I think, is an attempt at one. I don't know if this is actually a forceful hit, though. He definitely tries. You're going to have the launch, but then you could also make the argument that if that other player wasn't standing there to kind of break his fall, he would have hit the ground. But, I don't know. I think we definitely got this one here. The second one, I'm a little iffy on. Like I said, he definitely tried to. But you can make not a forceful hit, but again, you can make the argument that if that other player wasn't standing there, he may have fell to the ground. But we got one of them for sure. Let's look at another one. This is a pump play. We're going to have a lot on pump plays, just the nature of those plays. We call one right here. I'm not as sold on this one. And it's hard to see where the frame, it's hard to see the whole thing. It's hard to see if it was a forceful hit. But remember, if it's close, we're going to err on the side of caution. Again, it's kind of coming out of the frame. It's hard to see. It definitely, you can tell the defender didn't see it coming. The question here would just be a forceful hit. There's no open hands. And then we have something here. Not really sure what this is. It looks like another whiff. Looks like the player in the white jersey here tried to do something. Like he tried to maybe almost a blindside block itself, but he whiffs. Not a whole lot of contact. We don't want to call anything, but definitely something we want to be cognizant of. And then we have a hold right there. Which 2 flags were thrown on this play. We flagged the blindside block and we flagged that hold. Hold's definitely there. And it called back a touchdown. So we got part of it right. This is a weird play. There's going to be several questionable blindside blocks in this one. So we'll watch it all the way through at least once. We're going to have one there. Another one there. Something going on right there. And then there. So we got 4 hits we want to look at. This first one's going to be harder to see because it's just kind of coming in the frame. But from what we can tell, I think he gets those hands out there and just gives him a good hard shove in the hands. Remember, we talked about in the clinics, if the force of the contact is not with the shoulders, the head, or anything like that, the force of the contact is with hands. then we're good. They don't have to run out there like Frankenstein's monster with their hands extended. But look at the force of contact there's with the hands, and then he just shoves them off. I think we're good there, and no blindside block. And there's another one here. He definitely tries to. The question here is going to be, is this forceful contact? And again, it's one of those things, it may have been more forceful if he hadn't run into his own player. But it's definitely no open hands, doesn't see it coming. It's a shoulder chuck, shoulder thrust. I think we could be safe to go to the blindside block right there, an illegal blindside block. Because all the three criteria, does it meet all three? Forcible contact's the third one. We have another one right here. Again, it looks like the force of the contact is going to be with open hands. It's hard to see the whole thing. So, maybe the official saw something there that he didn't like. We don't see the whole hit there, so it's hard for us to tell. And then we definitely have a blindside block here toward the end. Remember we said in the camp, if you have a block in the back that's forceful, go ahead and get a blindside block. That one's iffy. It looks like it's probably in the back. But either way, it is a blindside block, correctly thrown. But just remember, when you throw that flag, keep officiating. We don't have any eyes on the goal line right here. So, weird play. Here we have a weird one. We got a punt. Usually, a lot of this stuff is going to happen on punts. There's going to be a block in the back turned. A block in the back that we could call blindside right there, about the 20. We're going to talk more about side judge mechanics on punts. But this is definitely inside the numbers and within 2 yards. So there's going to be side judge's kick, or he's got the catch and all. But once it's fielded, it becomes a regular scrimmage play. Ideally, we probably want your field judge probably around here. You really don't want you coming any further out. Now you got a scrimmage play, you want to widen out, trying to make your way up. So about the 20 is where we're going to have this hit. You can see the makings of it right there. It's in the back. You could probably go blindside block there because you get a forceful hit in the back. Side judge, field judge, maybe even the wing if he's down there, he can make that call and help out a little bit better. But it's definitely something we got to pick up. Yeah, so we got enough eyes on there, we could probably pick that up. Another kick where we're going to miss a blindside block. This one's going to happen sort of after the play. Right there. And again, this is probably your deep wing may could pick this up, but we definitely got to have someone picking this up. Because we missed a big one there. And it's borderline late. So, again, it's something we need to be cognizant of. We need to be watching all around, pretty much everything on the field as much as we can, because we missed one there. This is a play where we're going to have 2 hits, both blindside blocks, one legal, one illegal. We got one right there and one right there, kind of almost simultaneous with each other. This first one, about the 45, I think is legal. I think he gets his hands out there, and I think that's where a brunt of the contact is. You can see, I feel like he's leaning him with his hands, and then he's just going to shove them off. So let's watch the one to 50. I think the one to 50 should have been illegal because I don't think he's getting the hands out there. He's really driving his shoulder into the side and running them to the ground. So there are 2 blindside blocks on that, one legal, one illegal. But something we can see from these clips is that it looks like the players are actually trying to make an effort to get their hands out there now. So it looks like finally, after 3 or 4 weeks, it's kind of filtering down, and we're getting rid of some of these bad blindside blocks. Okay, let's move on from blindside blocks. Have a weird play here. We do not have instant replay at this level. We do not have a Tom Brady rule or a Tuck rule. So we have to make our decisions right there in the field. Here we have a quarterback under duress. It's close. He's looking, it's hard to tell there if his hand's coming forward. But remember, we do not have instant replay. All we have is one pair of eyes on that. So I always want to err on the side of caution. When in doubt, it's incomplete. All right. Same mantra as catch, no cheap turnovers. I think we do right here, calling this incomplete. It's close. We don't have instant replay. We gotta go with what we see on the field. But when in doubt, incomplete. So we do a good job there. So we're gonna go from a well officiated play to a not so well officiated play. We'll have a pass toward the middle, and we do not have a call yet about what's going on, right? Someone needs to make this decision. Someone needs to make it soon. Now we finally have to stop the clock and an indication. So a couple things to look at, and then we're going to talk about it. A few things to look at here. Now, this is middle of the field. We have a back judge. I think we had this better. But we can't keep using the excuse we need a back judge because we don't have one. So we have to be able to go with what we have, and we have to officiate well with the 6 we have. It is a blind spot, it's a weak spot, but we can't keep falling back on that as an excuse. Questionable DPI here. It's close. It's bang bang. I think we're okay letting it go. Depending on the level of play, your officiating type of game, you don't want to be flag happy. So it's close. But irregardless of that, we definitely have something we need to rule on. And we have no one who wants to make the rule on this. Okay. It's hard for the side judge to make this because he's going to be blocked out by all these players. Wing guy is probably just getting down there. But the wing guy probably has a good look at it. Umpire has a good look at it. Someone's got to make. Actually, the umpire's not looking. Someone's got to make a call here. We have a lot of tentativeness, so we got to come up with a call to make. We definitely have a clock stopped, so at least stop the clock. Makes us look like we're engaged. But we're waiting so long here. Another thing, get these coaches off the field. Deep guy come in, get these coaches off the field. Wing guys be working with them. Get them off the field. There's no need for that. So that's one thing we should have done. We also need to be more urgent on the call here and call something. Eventually come with interception, but it looked bad. So, and let's also, if we can, let's have the referee be the only one who signals change of possession. Just looks better. We're going to have another catch, no catch. This one, we make the call, but it's going to be the wrong one. Again, we don't have instant replay. We can't slow it down. And again, it's middle of the field where we don't have the great coverage, but we cannot keep using that as an excuse. So he's going to come over. He's juggling. The ball's going to hit the ground right there. And roll over and cover. We ruled this a complete catch. It was actually incomplete. Again, middle of the field is hard to cover, but we cannot keep using the excuse that we need the 7th guy. But we don't have one. So we need to try to do our best with the 6 that we have. But we missed that one. Again, at least we were quick to rule on it. We just missed it. But it's better to actually look like we know what we're doing than the previous play where we look like we don't have a clue. Here we're going to have a touchdown, and we're going to get sort of a late hit. It's close, but this at least needs to be a talking to, because if we go back and watch it, he really doesn't even dive, or he starts his dive until he's across the goal line. So coach wanted a late hit on this. I don't, especially this type of game, I don't know if it would have been best to flag this, but we at least need to come in here and talk to number 17, because he starts his dive pretty late. I mean, the quarterback's, it's clear he's going to be in the end zone before he starts to dive. So let's at least talk to him on that one. It'd save us some trouble later. Let's look at some targetings. We haven't talked about targeting much this year. So then we had one play in the Corky Kell. But we're going to have one here. We're going to have a clear launch. And there's not a whole lot of forcible contact, it looks like. But we have an attempt at forcible contact. He's going to squat and launch upward toward the shoulder area. And we're going to flag it. I'm good with this flag because you have some of the indicators here. Again, you have the squat and launch, and he's launching upward. So it's a safety foul. When you go ahead and knock them, if they're safety fouls, err on that side. So good call there. Here's one we're going to miss. So we miss this one. Same thing. We have a squat and a launch. Well, not really. This one doesn't have the squat and a launch. But we have clear helmet-to-helmet contact with the crown. You see him over his head, and there's the helmet-to-helmet contact. We got to get that out of the game. And that's right in front of him. It happens quick. I get it. But you see a guy come in with his head down like that, and the contact is high, when you go ahead and flag that. Here we're going to have on the quarterback. Kind of the same thing. You got the squat and a thrust upward, high to the quarterback. Quarterback's a defenseless player right here. So we have an illegal hit on the defenseless player. At least have targeting. So this is one we should have picked up. Here you get it's a tighter angle. Maybe somebody can see it better. There's a squat, he's thrusting upward. So this one we should have picked up. Or not pick up the flag, but we should have flagged that. Early last season we had some problem with illegal snaps, particularly on the swinging gates. We had some that were illegal. This one I think is legal. It's close, but it's legal. What you want is, the wording of the rule is a continuous backward motion. So with the snapper, his shoulders are still square, and I think we do have the continuous backward motion right there. He doesn't. I think the problem I had last year was we had it may have been the same team, but it was a similar setup, and the snapper took a step back and then threw the ball backward. He doesn't do that this year. It's all one motion. As long as it's all one motion, we're good. That's the requirement. A continuous backward motion that immediately leaves the snapper's hand. That would be to me, that's your only close thing about it, immediately leaving the snapper's hand. But I think it's close enough here where we can let it go. He does have a continuous backward motion. So I think this snap is legal. Last week, remember, we had the forward backward pass. Was it forward? Was it backwards? We had one official rule forward, one official rule backwards. On this clip, we're going to have no official rule anything. Team's going to pick it up and go. We've got to make a call on this. It's probably your referee's call. I think that's what we said last week. But we got to have something. If you have shotgun and quickly out right there, that's the referee's call. So like I said, we had no call on this. we got to come up with something. And it's definitely a forward pass. It's pretty lateral. Remember the rule book, you know, this thing is a lateral pass. So if it's close, we rule it forward. So we got no call here. We got no signal to kill it, no signal for backward pass. And then, you know, and there's no one on the goal line either. And it looks like we missed some blindside blocks back here. Yeah, we got one right there at the 45. Kid peeling back, laying a kid out. Not forcible contact, but something we got to watch for. So that's a miss on us. Something we want to look out for. We don't see it a whole lot, but when we see it, we need to call it, and that's block below the waist. This one will be right out here in front of the runner. Looks like he's going to take out that lead blocker. You can see him right there. He's going low, takes out that lead blocker. That's a miss. Again, we don't see block below the waist a whole lot in high school, but when we see it, we need to call it, and we miss it there. So I mentioned earlier, pump mechanics, when we switch to S and all. So the mechanics manual says when the sideline is threatened, approximately 2 yards from the sideline. So the mechanic there is when the sideline is threatened. It says approximately 2 yards. Some associations are teaching if it's inside the numbers, have the side judges go ahead and take it. So we teach in ours, and that's what I tell deep officials at the clinics. And in that case, you don't have to really punch off or punch back or punch off or whatever. There's no punch off. You just, the field judge and the side judge need to get together pre-game, make it part of their pre-game talk. And if it's inside the numbers, you know the side judge just go ahead and takes it. This is what we're going to have here. So this is one of those side judge. Just go ahead and take it. Don't worry about punching off. Like he tries to punch off, that's okay. You know, if you've been working for a while, then you're used to punching off. So just have him go ahead and take it. Positioning's good for side judge. We're okay with that. Field judge, you need to be more on the field. Again, don't come past like this Viter mark here. You need to be on the field because you're going to have, now before the catch, you're going to have all the blocks in front. And then when he picks up and runs, then we have regular scrimmage run. But good job of picking it up there. The next one, we're actually going to have a catch and attempt at a return. It's the same type of situation. So you see the returners, he's inside the numbers. So side judge, go ahead and take it. Pretty good positioning. Field judge, though, you need to be on the field. At least no further than here, 5 yards back. And you got all the blocks in front. And we're going to miss a block in the back right there. So should have had, it's probably your field judge to call that. So we miss it, but you know, if our field judge is in position over here, we probably get that right. Side judge does a good job of sticking with it. Not a lot of room to work with on the sidelines there, but he does what he can. Good job on the side judge. Again, just field judge, come out in the field more so you can pick up that block in the back. Alright, last clip. We have a potential roughing the punter. So when we have rugby style punters, it kind of puts some extra stress on the referee and we have decisions to make. If we go back to the rule says on roughing the punter, if the contact is unavoidable because it's not reasonably certain that a kick will be made, then you don't have roughing the kicker. So that's the wording. I think it's 945A or something like that. But that's the wording. If contact is unavoidable because it's not reasonably certain that a kick will be made, then you disregard roughing the kicker. So in this one, you already have a rugby style kicker, and then he's going to actually bobble the snap some and when the kick is made, and then he kind of has a tackle there. You can see it best from the end zone angle. He's bobbling it. So, you know, it's close. It's a judgment call on the official, but I'm good with letting this go. And I'm a former kicker, so I usually give these guys as much leeway as possible. But in this case, I think we're good letting this go. He hadn't really established himself as a kicker by the time the defender dives. And he's still bobbling the ball. He hasn't really planted the kick yet. He kind of kicks on the run. And you have attempted a wrap up. So this guy's just not diving out and trying to take him out. He's wrapping him up, takes him to the ground. So I think we're good here. We're just letting this one go. But it is the judgment of the referee. If he had called roughing the kicker, I think we'd all be okay with as well. Not calling roughing the kicker, we're good too. So, when they do rugby style, they lose some of that firm protection. But again, the wording is contact is unavoidable because it's not reasonably certain that a kick will be made. I think here we can give him the benefit of the doubt. And again, he attempts to wrap up, so we know he's just not trying to lay him out. So again, not to sound like a politician, but it's one of those, if you let it go, I think it's a good call. If you went ahead and called it, I think it would be okay too. Personally, I'm on the side of letting this one go. That's it for this week. Good job this past week. Good luck this week, and again, try to stay dry.